Pastor Sam, just to recap, last time we talked about the fact that you're a maths genius, basically, but that came through hard work, dedication, pushing through, putting in more than any other person with the other students. Very popular at school. You excelled at sports and a leader of the pack. So everybody kind of, where you were going, that's where your peers wanted to go. But then everything went wrong. And that's where we stopped talking last time.
Yeah.
So this is going to be really exciting. So here's our first question. What was the first sign that something was going wrong?
Well, so what happened is, I think at that stage of your life, you just feel, well, I'm good anyway. I'm all right. And you do whatever you like. You just feel you have a privilege. And it's true, you do have that privilege because everyone kind of give you a space of who you are, who they perceive you to be. And you know it within yourself as well. That, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'm this. And I think if only I had someone to guide me and say, that's not the right way. Even having said that, no, even if somebody tells you, because it wouldn't go in. It wouldn't go in because you just feel, yes, you're good, so you're good. I think that's when things were going wrong gradually that I didn't realize.
So you weren't even paying attention to what was going on around you. You thought that everything was still good.
Yeah. I know it did get deeper than that. Okay, because I remember one time, even the teachers liked me because they know. I remember, oh my God, this is quite deep here because a few years ago, this came back to me. This particular thing I'm going to share, it came back to me maybe about probably 3-4 years ago. One of the teachers called me. I could just remember we were standing by the entrance to a class, one of the classrooms, and then he called me and he said this to me. He called me and he said it passionately, but it didn't go in. He said, knowledge without understanding is nothing. Obviously, I knew he's talking to me. He's trying to tell me, yes, we know you're good. Even academically, you are good. But you got to have some understanding to reflect on what you're doing. So even the teachers are picking up what I was doing because I was going off. Yeah.
Okay, you were going down a different path.
Yes, I was going off.
So,
and
okay, what path were you going down?
You really want to know?
Yes.
I mean, keeping friends, because I stay in the boarding school, all throughout. And then again, actually being in a boarding school even make you even more popular, And so you gain so much because you know that, yeah, people know who you are. People respect you for that, okay? And again, when you begin to do that, for example, I play a lot, and normally I wouldn't be doing that because I thought all I need to do is just pick up my book and I'm okay. But not knowing that it's not like that. and also along the way, something happened because one of the things I did not realize is when you're in the boarding school, people do, I didn't know this, that even those, at that stage, people do witchcraft. I didn't know that. And even, it's like, this is one of the things that kind of scared me when I see what people do on uni. People practice all sorts of things. They dabble into different things they don't understand. They just feel like, oh, well, I'm okay. People have that feeling. I understand that. I understand that when you feel that you're okay, oh, nothing can happen to me. You're dabbling into different things, you say, nothing can happen to me. Complete ignorance. And that is really what one of those teachers said to me. He's trying to get me to understand knowledge is one thing, but understanding is another thing, because understanding helps you to maneuver your ways, to know what you need to do, what you need to keep yourself away from. Now, one of the reasons why this got to me about a few years ago is because I remember what this man was trying to say. Number one, I realized, so he's a Christian, because you can't use that word unless you are a Christian, which I didn't realize. I found it in the Bible. I said, my God, this man was a Christian. He's trying to tell me. He's trying to show me the right way to go. Knowledge without understanding. It's clear. It's in Proverbs, that he picked it up from. I saw it word for word. I wish I could get his number and call him and say, after all these years, I have just realized that word you spoke to me. By the way, there's also, we have other teachers like that. There's a particular woman, she got me into a car talking to me.
Trying to keep you on the straight and
Yes.
narrow, so to speak.
She was saying things like, look, we know you are good. We know you are brilliant. But some of the things you're doing, it doesn't suit you. You miss chances. There are certain privileges that the school will give you. You can't be found doing the wrong thing. And the thing is, when you're good, you get away with so many things. Okay? Not knowing that there is a place to draw a line. I'm not taking this lightly, because it's something I reflect back to see how foolish I was. And I was really foolish, because practically I was good. All I need to do is pick up my book. I know exactly what I need to do. But one day, one afternoon, I was with all my friends. We were talking, kind of jesting as usual. All of a sudden, something happened. I found my hands shaking. Yes, very scary. I found my hands shaking. It's not just, it was like this. I couldn't control it.
Wow, just out of the blue.
Yeah, out of the blue. Really shaking. I was crying to my friends. I said, what's happening to me? What's happening to me? It wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop. So they were saying, okay, don't worry, it's going to be okay. But it wasn't. It carried on. I was thinking, where am I? I've never seen anything like that before. And eventually, they actually rushed me to the hospital.
Because it was still, how long was it going on before they took you to the hospital?
I would say probably like 30 minutes. Wow. Because they think it's going to stop. I was thinking, okay, it's going to stop. It's going to stop.
Right.
I didn't realize I was under heavy attack.
Okay.
So I rushed to the hospital. The doctors couldn't do anything. They had to admit me to the hospital, thinking that, okay, it's going to calm down. I can't even, to be honest, I cannot remember all what they did. Okay, I can't remember now, but nothing, it didn't stop. It took a long time, and then it kind of stopped. It kind of, it calmed down, but I wasn't the same again after that.
So when you say it took a long time, are you talking days, weeks, months?
It didn't stop completely. My hand's still shaking. That I could not hold a pen. I couldn't write anymore. That was the beginning when things began to go wrong.
So was it alcohol related, drug related? Was there
nothing
that you had taken?
Nothing. I think it was just an attack.
A spiritual attack?
Yeah, it's a spiritual attack.
And is that kind of like the witchcraft that you're alluding to?
Yeah. It is, actually. It is. Because when that happened, holding a pen was very difficult for me. Now I've been healed, but my hand will be shaking. And then fear came, that what am I going to do? And one of the things I realized is when I tried to read my book now, I couldn't read. It wouldn't go in.
So was this related to something psychological?
I,
What were the doctors actually telling you that they
the
found it
doctors,
was?
the doctors didn't know what it was. They shaking. They did. I mean, doctors will always give you whatever they can give you, but it didn't stop anything. But even me myself, I did not know what was going on. But only me now realized the effects of it. I mean, the first thing I realized is I couldn't hold a pen. I mean, this is someone that could write from the age of 2. I couldn't hold a pen properly. So when I tried to write, I mean, it zigzag. It zigzag. It couldn't fit in a box. It zigzag.
But you could think okay. It's just that what you were thinking then couldn't.
I could.
Like, could you write your name, but it would be scruffy, or you literally couldn't even write a word?
Do you know when you're trying to do a digital signature?
Yes.
That's how my writing became.
That is scary. And I imagine then this would be pre-computers.
Yeah.
So, like now everyone is just on the computer. So, but then you
I
at
couldn't-
that time you couldn't do studies without being able to write.
Exactly. So I had to start learning how I'm going to cope with this. I mean, I told my parents, they tried to help me. I mean, they took me everywhere. It wouldn't stop. Now, because it's not just that. From that moment, I couldn't study anymore. So it's like something happened that, I mean, the book that normally I would read, I mean, easily, I would take a whole book in. I will cram the whole book. It just won't go in. To even get one sentence in, one line in, it's difficult. Then I knew I was in trouble.
And how long did this last for?
How long did it last for?
Yeah, I mean,
It lasted for years. It lasted till when I got saved. It lasted, I mean, so now everything I was now doing is now with fear. I mean, before I had no problem in passing my exam. I mean, what I was aiming for is to be at the top. Now at this point, I'm scared that I will fail.
Why?
Because I couldn't study anymore. So I had to struggle and struggle and struggle to be able to even make it, to be able to understand what I was studying.
So how old were you when this started?
I was in, let me try and pick this up properly. If I can remember properly. I think I was in, I think year 14. Yeah, I was in year 14 when it started. So year 14, year 15, 16, I had to struggle through.
Did you actually pass your exam?
Yeah, eventually I did pass, but it was with a lot of struggle, which normally wasn't there. Okay, so just to kind of fast forward things here now, because they did everything. They just did everything. Nothing worked. Okay, so after, I think it's like as I was growing up, this thing just keep growing as well, that trying to break through studies is very, very hard. But the whole thing broke when I got saved.
Okay, so can you tell us about that? So when at the time it started, what was your relationship with God like? Did you have a relationship with God at all?
School children don't have a relationship with God.
Some do.
Maybe so. I mean, I was brought up in a Christian home, but I had no relationship whatsoever. I mean, deep down I knew there's God. I mean, I couldn't deny that. No, there's no kind of relationship. Even some people will even introduce, to go to a church for prayer or that sort of thing. But I mean, I did try everything to see if I could get help, but there was no help. What I actually feel is, I mean, obviously, when you are in that stage of your life, you don't expect anything to go wrong. But I do know it's a severe attack.
Yeah, and so at this point then, you're in a Christian home, not in a relationship with God personally. You're going through this horrific experience, and you don't know what it is, and you're not getting any answers from the doctors. What was it that drew you to God then? Can you tell us what your moment of connecting with God personally?
Probably this is one of the reasons why I actually made my way back to God, because a time came when I knew I needed God in my life. Yeah, I just knew I needed God in my life, and there is no other way. It's not because I hate God. It's just like, as you know, when you're young, you want to go with friends, you want to go out, you just feel that, oh, you don't want to leave this because, you know, you want to enjoy life. That's just the way, you know, young people think. Okay, but a time came in my life when I realized I needed God, because I look at everything that's going on. It just don't make sense to me anymore. Okay, it just did not make sense. Not knowing that God really and definitely had a plan for me. And that is what really changed my life afterwards, when I realized God had a plan for me. That was after my salvation now.
Okay, so folks, most people remember the moment when they say yes to the Lord. They say, yes, I am now going to follow you. Come into my heart. And they do that sinner's prayer. Tell us what your moment was.
Now, in my case, it's not actually when I went out to say sinner's prayer. I think I've been saying sinner's prayer before I go to church, because I would go and stand in front of a church and just expecting somebody to come and call me in. I knew I was desperate for God. I wanted God back. I really want God in my life. I didn't understand it, but obviously I was brought up in a Christian home. We never miss a prayer, morning, evening. It just reminds me of that scripture. It said, teach your child the way to go. When he grows up, he will find it back. He will know where to turn to. Because along the line, when confusion came, sometimes I pick up my Bible, read. In one of those times, God literally spoke to me, but I didn't know how to hear God anyway. But I knew He spoke to me. I knew He's saying something to me, So these are some of the things that I would say is start to connect me back. There was a time the Lord showed me a vision, how my heart changed. So I knew there is something about my life, that God is interested in. So I knew that before I went back to say I want to go back to church. I was really desperate to go to church, but I did not know how to go in. So I was just standing outside. I'll be standing outside the church, just expecting somebody to come and call me. I don't know why I was scared, but that's just my experience. And then one day, somebody came to invite, my wife and I, somebody came to invite us to church. It was actually my sister-in-law that came to invite us to church. And that's it. From the time I entered the church, things just begin to happen in my life. Now, if I was to actually refer to when something really happened for definite that I now got myself stable in the church, I would say, I think something happened that I needed somewhere to stay. And the only place I could stay, relating it to the pastor at the time, he said, well, if you don't have anywhere to stay, you can come and stay at my place. So we were staying at the pastor's house.
And that was you and your wife?
Yeah.
Did you have children by then?
We've got our first one by then. I have no choice but to be in church. I have no choice but to be in the Bible studies.
Right.
So I have no choice but to be in the prayer meeting. So before I know it, my heart changed.
In what way did your heart change?
I just knew that I need to be going to church. I knew that I need to be going to church. I need a change in my life. And wow, I was a sinner, you know. I mean, when you look at your life not being in the Lord, you know definitely that you just need to get it right with God, because it's all about personal relationship. I mean, one of the things I picked up is having a personal relationship with God is the way forward, and I just want it.
So when did you go from, because you were saying that you didn't get healed from the shaking with your hands and being able to write properly until you made that commitment to Jesus.
To God.
So, and that commitment to Jesus doesn't always have anything to do with going to church.
Yeah.
So, because you were going to church before when you
Yeah.
didn't have
Yeah.
a commitment to Jesus. So, at what point did you receive your healing and connect with Jesus? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, that is a long journey, because when I go to church, when I start going to church now, and obviously now I start reading my Bible. Okay, that's actually what happened, and I remember sharing with one of the pastors at the time. Just as what we're doing now, I want to know more about myself, and I started to give him the time when I was really desperate to get back to church, how I would go and stand outside, just waiting for someone to call me. And so he said this, which I didn't understand at the time. He said, "Oh, so you've been hungry for God before you even come to church?" And I said, "Yeah, but I didn't understand what it means." So later I got to understand that to be hungry means you were really desperate for God. Yes, which was. I mean, I was really desperate for God. Now, when I start reading my Bible, I got really interested in reading it now, because I begin to see Jesus healing the sick. And I mean, obviously, I know I needed help. Actually, to be honest, it was the senior pastor where we were that picked up the problem. He didn't know about the hand, but he realized, because the problem not just about not being able to read now, the problem also affected my speech, that I couldn't speak properly. Because what happened is things just start kind of developing and then opening up. Now, remember, it started from the shaking of the hands. And then I realized I couldn't write properly anymore. And then from there, I also realized that I couldn't read. No, I could read, sorry. I couldn't understand what I was reading. Just that understanding is not there anymore. And then again, from there, and I also realized that it's affecting my speech. So meaning, when I'm speaking to you, I wouldn't know what next to say. I will really go blank. There is no word coming into my memory. So I will go blank. I can't talk. Then you'll be expecting me to, what's the next sentence? And you'll be puzzling. You'll be wondering, what's happening? But then I will go into a smile anyway, because I don't know what else to say. And then all of a sudden, it will come back. Now I know what I needed to say. It was a really deep problem. It was, I've never seen that sort of problem before.
Right.
So when I start reading my Bible and seeing Jesus healing, seeing so many things are happening, and then I will now go to the leaders in the church and say, I mean, what's happening? Is there no healing today anymore? So that is how that part of me now developed, that, okay, there is healing. They said to me there is healing, but it's just not happening in the church. And I'm asking, why not? They don't know. So when they will ask me to actually come for deliverance, okay? Because I think that's the first thing usually that the church will do when you come to know the Lord, and you know that, or maybe you need something in your life, you need some help in your life. Okay, come for deliverance. Well, I went for deliverance, nothing happened. I didn't even cough. So there's nothing that came out. So I was told I'm all right. But I knew I wasn't okay because my hand is still shaking.
Right.
I couldn't study. Speech is still, oh Jesus. You cannot picture what happened to me. You can't, because it was terrible.
No.
So it was a dead end. Okay, it was a dead end. This is somebody that used to be in the forefront, and then all of a sudden, oh dear. Can I quickly?
Was that yours?
It's my alarm. It's my alarm for something.
It's 6 o'clock, so we need to wind this up now anyway.
Yes.
So I think it's underneath his,
If you
on the table.
that bag, if you bring that bag, I can. Yes. I know. Oh, I thought I switched it off. We need to finish this part.
It had to be past the service, right?
We need to finish this part.
Yeah, let's finish it and then I think.
Yes. You're going to just end it.
Can I quickly finish this part?
Of course. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Okay, then we'll. So just remember, you're winding this part down.
Yeah. Let me know when to start. Okay. Okay, so, reading my Bible really helped me because I begin to see that Jesus can heal. But then, when you look at the whole picture in front of you, for example, I was recommended to go to a special school. Maybe that will help me to get my speech back. I knew that's not going to help me. I was told to go and see a doctor. Maybe I need special glasses. What special glasses got to do with my tongue or my memory? You know, I need a divine intervention. I knew that for sure. But then the church couldn't help me. So that actually made the whole thing worse because, now I did not know. My confidence is gone completely. It was more or less like fear because I don't know what next. But while I was reading, knowing that Jesus can heal, it kind of gave me a hope. Although at the time, it actually resulted into me not believing that Jesus heals anymore because since I didn't see any example in the church. But a change came one day. There was a lady in the church. I just see that a lot of people are sick in the church and they live with it. Okay, they come as long as they have a real good time in church community. You talk to one another, and you go home. But then there is this cry within me that where is Jesus' love? I want to see it. Okay, so this lady came to visit us one day. She had a very bad eczema. It's terrible. That is another thing as well that you just can't picture what it is like when somebody had a problem. I look at her, because I know what it means to have a problem. I look at her, she's covered with eczema, and she also has a cataract in one of her eyes. And I was wondering, she's a very pretty lady like this, And I'm wondering, what is happening? How did it start? She went into a very long story. But then what caught my attention is when this eczema began to itch, she will scratch until she bleeds. She couldn't hold herself. And she's covered with it. I could see blood coming out. And I asked her, I said, does this happen every time? She said, yes, it does. So what do you do? I said, nothing really. You just have to use the cream that the doctor gives her. I said, did they help? Not really. So you mean you have to live with it? Then I'm kind of asking within myself, Jesus heals, Jesus loves, but then there's no answer. Why? So it kind of filled my heart with so much pain. I actually forgot about my own self now. I was thinking about her. How could somebody be going through this with pain and then there's no answer? So the next day, early in the morning, I woke up to pray before I got to work. As I was praying, I was just asking the Lord, what is wrong with her? How come there was no healing? I was just crying. That's when the change came. I was crying for somebody. I was really in pain, crying for her. That, oh God, what is happening? Where is the answer? Has she done something or what is it? And suddenly, I saw the heaven open. And that is what changed my own personal life when I saw the heaven open. And I saw the heaven open, and I saw like a big rock coming from heaven and was just coming down. And as it was coming, I was scared. So I opened my eyes. I didn't see anything. I looked up, I didn't see anything. But then I closed my eyes again, praying, and there it's coming. It's actually coming. I opened my eyes again, I was scared. I couldn't even scream. I don't know why I didn't scream. But I knew it's coming from heaven anyway. But I thought this pain is going to crush me. I knew, then I closed my eyes, kind of bowed down. I knew when it fell on the roof, and then it came through, and it came all over me. I was so scared. I thought that was the end. And then suddenly, the Holy Spirit appeared to me. Yeah,